Three, two, one. Getting ready to start here on YouTube. All right. Then we'll get this link. All right. So we got the YouTube. Let's go and get there on Just a Word TV. As we're about to get started. Probably the first time we are going with a live teaching on a preparation day. So it should be a surprise. Let me get back here. Link inside the chat. And let me get it started on the radio. Connecting, all right. Connected on the radio. So we're good to go. All right. All right, welcome to a surprise for most people. Today, a preparation day, we are live, but today is the 7th day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the second Passover for those who missed the first. And this takes place 1 month after the original Passover unleavened bread, okay? So we're having a teaching for a group here who have, who are keeping the second Passover. All right. So today we are going to be looking at a very different type of teaching because we are dealing with the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and the Feast of Unleavened Bread is a feast that deals with purification, cleansing, deals with sin, deals with getting sin out of our system, the leaven of sin out of our system. So we're going to be looking at a teaching that deals with sin to give us more insight into sin so that we can more easily get over sin and we can be conscious of the causes of sin, a little bit more aware of the forces that cause us to err. Okay, so let's begin here. Yeah, we know that we are carnal, sold under sin. I will have to be doing the reading or else the sound will not come through on the radio. Gonna have to figure out a way to go around that. Revelation 7:12, wherefore the law is holy and the commandment holy and just and good. Was then that which is good made death unto me? Allah forbid, but sin, that it might appear sin, working death in me by that which is good, that sin by the commandment might become exceeding sinful. So sin, we're going to look at the problem of sin, which is amplified, according to Shaul, is amplified by the law. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. So the law is good, but I am the problem because I am sold under sin. Because of Adam's sin, I now have the propensity to sin. But there's a combination of factors that cause us to sin. Because when we know that which is right, there is something in us that is willing us to do that which is wrong. And there are spirits, because we ourselves are spirits, and unknown to us, there are spirits that operate in the background, willing us, encouraging us to do that which is wrong. All right. For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that do I not. But what I hate, that do I. So what we want to do, we end up not doing it. And what we hate, we end up doing it. Verse 16, if then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law, that it is good. Okay? And then verses 18 to 25. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good I find not. So there is no good thing in my flesh, because whatever I want to do, I want to do it, but I do not have the ability to do it. For the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. So the good that I want to do, I cannot do it. But that which is wrong, I find that that is what I do. Now, if I do that I would not, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. So sin inside of us, as we said, we got the penalty of death from Adam. When the Most High said, in the day that you do it, you shall surely die. We received that penalty from Adam. Okay? And because we received the penalty of death, we have the propensity to sin, because the wages or the payment of sin is death. So sin leads to death. So we have the penalty of death, so we sin. All right? I find a law that when I will do good, evil is present with me. And this is what we're going to look at today. The evil that is present with us when we want to do that which is good. The evil that is ever present with us. Okay? The evil that is ever present with us when we want to do good. Yes? We hear people say it all the while. A voice is telling me to do this. A voice is telling me to do that. We're going to look at it in a few. For I delight in the law of Alua after the inward man. That's verse 22. But I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members. So there is a law, he calls it the law of sin and death, that is compelling him to do that which is wrong. This is the dilemma on every human being. That is why we always have the propensity to sin, and that is why we have people doing such horrific deeds, because their sin nature is willing them on to do that which is wrong. But we're going to look at another component that adds to the sin nature that makes sinful man really sinful. O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? I thank Alua through Yahushua Mashiach our master. So then, with the mind, I myself serve the law of Alua, but with the flesh, the law of sin. So he's saying thanks to Yahuwah, who has given us Yahushua Mashiach, through whom we can overcome this propensity to sin. All right. So he's able to serve the law of Alua with his mind, but his flesh continues to will him on to sin. Okay? But we're going to go now and look into a little bit more depths where that is concerned. Let's go to, all right. Evil spirits given authority to deceive. We're going to look at the fact that we are spirits and we are flesh, but we are only cognizant of the fleshly part of us. So we are cognizant of us being spiritual and us making decisions and us, being responsible for the consequences of our actions. But we, being flesh, are not aware of things that take place in the spiritual realm. There are things that are taking place in the spiritual realm right with us that we cannot see. There are spirits that are operating in the spiritual realm that are deceiving us, tricking us, encouraging us, leading us to sin so that we are led into destruction. Okay? And this is what we're going to look at today. We're going to go to the book of Jubilees, chapter 10, verses 5 to 11. And this is the reason you have people doing some crazy things in this world. And you would say to them, what could have made them do this? What could have let this man kill his daughter? What could have let this man kill his wife? What could have led this man to do this? And people say this not knowing of the evil that is taking place in this world. All right. So this is Noah saying a prayer, speaking to the Most High about the watchers. The watchers were the class of angels that were sent by the Most High to teach men on earth. But when they were on earth, they polluted themselves by being attracted to the woman and taking wives of the woman, something that they were not sent to do, and had children with these women, and the women became giants. Okay? So, the Most High sentenced them to be destroyed because they were causing havoc on the earth. Their children were causing havoc on the earth. And when their children died, they became what were known as the evil spirits. And the evil spirits now were causing man to be utterly corrupted. So Noah was beseeching the Most High, and he said in verse 5, from verse 4, but do thou bless me and my sons, that we may increase and multiply and replenish the earth. And thou knowest how thy watchers, the fathers of these spirits, acted in my day. And as for these spirits which are living, imprison them and hold them fast in the place of condemnation. And let them not bring destruction on the sons of thy servant, my Alua. For these are malignant and created in order to destroy. And let them not, so this is very important, malignant. The spirits are malignant, and malignant there means tending to produce death or deterioration, evil in nature, influence or effect. So these are evil in nature, tending or leading to destruction. And they were created in order to destroy. And let them not rule over the spirits of the living. And this is what we're looking at. The evil spirits, there is a battle that takes place, an unseen battle that takes place between the evil spirit and men. Because the evil spirit has had dominion over sinful man. All right? So they have power over men because the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. And as long as man is in sin, these sinful spirits will have dominion over them. Even when we are in Yahusha, even when we say we are walking in truth, there are certain things, if we are doing them, these spirits are going to have dominion over us and lead us to sin and destruction. And let them not have power over the sons of the righteous, from henceforth and forevermore. And Yahuwah our Alua bade us to bind all. So these are the angels speaking, saying that Yahuwah bade them to bind all the evil spirits. And the chief of the spirits, Mastema, came and said, Yahuwah Creator, let some of them remain before me. So we have here the leader of these evil spirits making petition to Yahuwah to release some of the evil spirits so that they can plague man. Very important. That's why we're saying you're not seeing the Most High rebuking Mastema. Yeah? That is why you don't curse the devil or trample on the devil. The devil is there for a purpose. You overcome the devil. That's it. And the chief of the spirits, Mastema, came and said, Yahuwah, Creator, let some of them remain before me, and let them hearken to my voice, and do all that I say unto them. For if some of them are not left to me, I shall not be able to execute the power of my will on the sons of men. For these are for corruption and leading astray before my judgment. For great is the wickedness of the sons of men. There you have it. Mastema asked that the evil spirits be left so that the sons of men can be corrupted and led astray before Mastema can be judged. Okay? Because of the great wickedness of the sons of man. So because man was wicked, the Most High was allowed, the Most High allowed Mastema to do that. Because verse 9 said, and he said, and he there speaking about Yahuwah, and he said, let the 10th part of them remain before him, and let 9 parts descend into the place of condemnation. All right? So, the Most High left 1/10 of the evil spirit. Now, if the world is so evil, and it's only 1/10 of the evil spirits that were left, imagine in the time of Noah, and imagine if all of those evil spirits were roaming today. Can you imagine what would happen? All right? So, these evil spirits were given dominion over the thoughts of men's hearts. Let's go to Abram speaking with the Most High. And that is Jubilees 12, 19 to 22. Jubilees 12, 19 to 22. This was Abraham. And he prayed that night and said, my Alua, Alua, Most High, thou alone art my Alua, and thee and thy dominion have I chosen. And thou hast created all things, and all things that are the work of thy hands. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have dominion over the thoughts of men's hearts. This is a key verse here today. And let them not lead me astray from thee, my Alua. Okay? So the evil spirits have dominion over the thoughts of men's hearts in order to lead people astray from Yahuwah. Simple. So Abraham was praying to the Most High that he deliver him from the hands of the evil spirits. So the evil spirits have dominion over the thoughts of our hearts. So this is why our thoughts are corrupted. This is why we are getting ideas to do all sorts of evil things at all time. That is why the enemy is able to take away our people. Because we have our sin nature, and our sin nature leads us to sin. When we have, and this is why it's important to deny self. Whenever we have or make provision for self, those evil spirits are going to give us thoughts, sinful thoughts, to think about self and to lead us to sin. Okay? So, let me read it again. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have dominion over the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my Alua, and establish thou me and my seed forever, that we go not astray from henceforth and forevermore. So as when we go astray from Yahuwah, it is these spirits that are leading us astray. And he said, shall I return unto Ur of the Chaldees, who seek my face, that I may return to them? Am I to remain there in this place? The right path before thee, prosper it in the hands of thy servant, that he may fulfill it, and that I may not walk in the deceitfulness of my heart, O my Olua. So we see here the answer to this thing is that Abraham asked of the Most High before he did anything. Okay? All right. So the Most High Abraham asked the Most High before he did anything. It's very important, because that is how you overcome these evil spirits, to be led by the Spirit of the Most High. All right? And he made an end of speaking and praying. And behold, the word of Yahuwah was sent to him through me, saying, get thee up from thy country, and from thy kindred, and from the house of thy father, unto a land which I will show thee, and I will make thee a great and numerous nation. So Abraham waited. He asked Yahuwah, and he waited, and he got his answer. And so he knew where to go. The point I'm saying is a lot of us make our own moves, and the moves are of the desires of our hearts. And that is when these evil spirits now can affect us and lead us into the wrong direction. All right? So we have to be led of the Ruach. We have to be led of the Spirit. Okay? So in order for these evil spirits to not lead us astray, we have to be led. We must separate ourselves from idolatry, from the idolatry of the nations, because the idols of the nations are the evil spirits hide behind idols. All right, we see dumb idols, people bowing down to idols, and we wonder why these people bow down to these dumb things. It's because evil spirits lie behind them. And so in worshiping, they are actually worshiping the devils and the demons. So in order not to be led astray by these devils and demons, we have to separate ourselves from the idolatry of the nations. Jubilees 22, 17. 17 to 17. Let me get this straight. Jubilees 22. Verse 17, 16 to 17. All right. Jubilees 22, 16 to 17. 22, 16 to 17. All right. This was instruction to Jacob for him to not be led astray. And do thou, my son Jacob, remember my words. This was Isaac speaking to Jacob. And do thou, my son Jacob, remember my words and observe the commandments of Abraham, my father. Separate thyself from the nations and eat not with them, and do not according to their works, and become not their associate. For their works are unclean, and all their ways are a pollution and an abomination and uncleanness. They offer their sacrifices to the dead, and they worship evil spirits. Remember, we said they worship idols and indirectly worship spirits. And they eat over the graves, and all their works are vanity and nothingness. They have no heart to understand, and their eyes do not see what their works are. And how they err in saying to a piece of wood, thou art my Alua, and to a stone, thou art my Yahuwah, my master, and thou art my deliverer. And they have no heart. Now, what is the significance of this? It's the same thing that we have inherited from the heathen. Psalm 96, verse 4 to 5. It is the same thing that we inherited from the heathen. Same thing. False worship, idolatrous worship, worshiping of devils and demons through the religions that they gave us. Psalm 96, verse 4. For Yahuwah is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but Yahuwah made the heavens. So it was the nations, it was the Gentiles who gave us Christianity et al. All the religions of this world. It was the Gentiles, the nations, who gave them to us. It was the nations who translated the scripture and put in these words, the Lord and God and Jesus Christ. It was the nations who did this. And it says here that all the gods of the nations are idols. That means they gave us the names of idols. All right? And remember, Jacob was directed to reject the gods of the idols and reject everything, have nothing at all to do with the nations. Okay? Okay? And it is further compounded. 1 Corinthians 10:20-24. Remember, it says they worship evil spirits. So let's get the confirmation. All right? I'm going to see same thing with us today in the religions that they gave us, Christianity et al. 1 Corinthians 10:20. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils or demons and not to Alua. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. Yeah? Ye cannot drink the cup of Yahuwah and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of Yahuwah's table and of the table of devils. That's why you cannot sit in their religions and worship Alua. You cannot mix it. Do we provoke Yahuwah to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? And that is why Shaul said, all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. Okay? Let no man seek his own, but every man another's wealth. So, in overcoming these evil spirits, as I said at the start, we have to deny self. So anytime self is in, then they have a chance with us. Because self, or the love of self, is going to lead us to sin. And it's going to lead us to be susceptible to their suggestions. All right? As they try to urge us on to destruction. But, very important, the things that they sacrifice to devils, to demons. That is what we are saying. All right? So I'm going to go back to Jubilees 22:18-19. They have no heart to understand, and their eyes do not see what their works are, and how they err in saying to a piece of wood, thou art my Alua, and to a stone, thou art my Yahuwah, my master, and thou art my deliverer. And they have no heart. Okay? So, these evil spirits, and this is one thing that we have to understand as well. These evil spirits thrive in unrighteousness and disunity. They thrive in unrighteousness and disunity. This is why you always hear me saying that here on Just a Word, we do not need a crowd. We just need a few good men. We need to be in one accord. And if people are not in one accord, it's best that we part our ways, because it is better to have a small group who are in unity than a big group who are in disunity, because the evil spirits are going to thrive in unrighteousness and disunity. Jubilees 7:25-27. Hope I'm not losing anyone. Jubilees 7:25.
Nope.
All right. Hold on, where are we? 25-27. Is that so? Yeah. All right, let me see what it says. And everyone sold himself to work iniquity and to shed much blood, and the earth was filled with iniquity. And after this they sinned against the beasts and birds and all that moves and walks on the earth, and much blood was shed on the earth, and vanity and evil continually. This was in the time of the wickedness. And Yahuwah destroyed everything from off the face of the earth because of the wickedness of their deeds and because of the blood which he had shed in the midst of the earth. He destroyed everything, and we were left. And you, my sons, and everything that entered with us into the ark, and behold, I see your works before me, that ye do not walk in righteousness.
Brother C, the words are out of focus. We're not
For
seeing
in the
them.
path of destruction. Oh, you're not seeing?
Yeah, they're very blurred.
Oh, I am blurred.
The words, yes, the words are not focused in focus.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It's small. That's why I'm reading it.
Okay, okay,
I guess because of the internet, different internet connections.
okay.
Yeah. All right. Oh, wait, I wasn't recording this year. Oh, man. Wasn't I? Anyway. Yeah, let's get back to it. And Yahweh destroyed everything from off the face of the earth because of the wickedness of their deeds and because of the blood which they had begun to shed. Okay. He destroyed everything and we were left. And now Noah is telling them, I see your works before me that ye do not walk in righteousness. So we have to be walking in righteousness in order to overcome them. And ye are parting one from another and are envious one of another. And so it comes that ye are not in harmony, my sons, each with his brother. So because you're not in harmony and because you're not walking in righteousness, here's what it says in the next verse. For I see and behold, the demons have begun their seductions against you and against your children, and now I fear on your behalf that after my death, we will shed the blood of men upon the earth, and that ye too will be destroyed from the face of the earth. For whoso sheddeth man's blood, and whoso eateth the blood of any flesh, shall all be destroyed from the earth. So, here we have it. If we are not walking in righteousness, if we are not in harmony, then the demons will seduce us. That's what this is saying. All right? We have to be in harmony and we have to be in righteousness. All right? So, also, as we said before, you cannot be walking according to the nations. All right? We cannot be walking according to the nations, and we also cannot be walking according to the course of this world, according to the way of this world, which is why the scripture tells you, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. Set your affections on things above and not things on this earth. Okay? So we cannot be walking in the way of the world. When we become believers, we have to take ourselves away from the course of the world. And this is why Brother Wayne is telling us every day, it says, Ruach Yahuwah, through him, is telling us to deny self. We cannot be walking in the same course that we walked in. It has to be something that is history. It has to be something from the past. Verse 2, wherein in time past ye walked, past tense, walked in time past, ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. Understand this. Let's break this down. In time past, the normal, natural man, the man who is not born again and led of the Ruach, in time past, we, that should have been our past, we were led according to the prince of the power of the air, according to the evil spirits that are in the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. So the children of disobedience, there is a spirit that's working in them. These are the evil spirits that are sent to lead men astray and to lead men to destruction. But we should not be walking according to the course of this world, so this should not relate to us. But our people, we have to be begging, and it seems like we are begging begging and beseeching people to stop walking according to the course of the year. Stop dressing like them. Stop talking like them. Stop listening to what they are listening, doing what they are doing. Stop following them. Stop dressing like them. Yes? Because you're going according to the course of this world. And as long as you're walking according to the course of the world, the prince of the power of the air, the rulers of darkness of this world are going to have access to you. And so they're going to be able to lead you astray from Yahuwah. Verse 3, among whom also we all had, past tense, we all had our conversation in times past tense, in the lusts of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. So because we used to walk like them, back in those days, we just walked after the lusts of our flesh. And this is what shows up on us. We just can't get rid of the old person. We just cannot be willing to look like nothing or to be nobodies in this world. Pride, etc., has us. And as long as it has us, then the prince of the power of the air, the evil spirits, are going to have access to us. They are going to have dominion over us and cause us to go against the Most High. Because we are going to be fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind. All right? Okay. And this is because we have to understand that the heart is desperately wicked and deceitful. So we have a whole lot of things stacked against us. We have a sin nature that is going to propel us to sin. We have these evil spirits trying to have dominion over us, trying to mislead us, trying to encourage us to do that which is wrong. And we have this heart that is deceitful. Jeremiah 17, 9 to 10. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? In other words, not even we can know our own heart because it will deceive us. We will think we are okay. We will think we have control. We will think, and then it just deceives us. And that's what the Apostle Shaul said in Romans 7. Even the law, trying to obey the law, sin will deceive us through the law. That's how deceitful the law is. So even when you're trying to do that which is right, the heart itself will deceive you, which is why you have to deny self. As long as self is in there, brothers and sisters, we are going to be in a problem. Because Yahuwah says, I, Yahuwah, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. We have to understand that Allah has a day when he's going to judge us. So we have to overcome this deceitful heart. And how do we overcome this deceitful heart? Our minds have to be transformed. Remember, it's in our minds that the evil spirits operate. It's something that is beyond the physical self. They operate in our minds to try to lead us astray. Okay? So our minds have to be transformed because our minds are naturally aligned to sin. Because of our sin nature that leads us to death, our minds are naturally wired to sin, to be serving self to lead us to sin. So your mind has to be transformed from the default that it is, and that default is one dedicated to sin. Okay? So that is why it says here in Romans 12, 1 to 2. Romans 12, 1 to 2. I feel like I'm alone talking to myself because I don't have a reader today. But we can't use a reader because we need to get it out to the radio. Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Allah, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, Kodesh, acceptable unto Allah, which is your reasonable service. Now hear this. In order to make yourself a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto Yahuwah, this is what you have to do. And be not conformed to this world. Here it goes again. Remember we say, if you are conformed to this world, then they're going to get you. Those evil spirits which are of this world are going to get you. The prince of the power of the air is going to get you to your desires. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Allah. So when your mind is renewed away from the sin nature, yes, you will be able to prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of Allah. And then the evil spirits will not be able to have dominion over you and to lead you astray. And of course, how can you be transformed by the renewing of your mind? As the Messiah said in John 3, you must be born again. And he tells us in Acts 2:38 how to be born again. Repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Yahushua Mashiach for the remittance of sins, and ye shall, remission of sins rather, and ye shall receive the gift of the Holy Spirit. Yes? And the Holy Spirit is the Spirit of truth, will lead you into all truth, and that is how your mind is renewed through the operation of the Holy Spirit, which now dwells in you. Okay, this will be a short teaching today. Don't worry yourself. It will be a short teaching, but I only hope when I'm through, people get exactly what I'm trying to say. Okay? So the next question is, how do we overcome? All right? Remember, it's a spiritual warfare. These are unclean, evil spirits that are trying to lead us astray. So, 2 Corinthians 10, 3-6. Yeah. So we are battling spirits, so we do not war in the spirit. All right. All right. Verse 2, but I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence, wherewith I think to be bold against some, which think of us as if we walked according to the flesh. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Allah to the pulling down of strongholds. So the spiritual weapons are not fleshly weapons, they are spiritual. And because they are spiritual, they are able to war against these evil spirits. Casting down imaginations, anything that they can throw at us, any thought that they can throw at us as they strive to deceive us. When we are walking in the spirit, we will have the arsenal, the weapons, we'll have the ability to overcome them. Let's see how. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of Allah, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Messiah. So when every thought is in obedience to Messiah, then whatever thoughts that come to us that are not in obedience, we're going to throw them away. This is how we overcome. Everything always points back to the Messiah, following the Messiah, walking as he walked, obeying him, okay? In obedience to his Father, of course. All right? So, every thought is brought into captivity to the obedience of Messiah. And anything that exalted itself against the knowledge of Allah. So when we know and understand Allah, we know his Torah, we know what he expects, we know his will. Any thought that comes against that, that thought is thrown aside. So if we don't know Yahuwah, and if we are not in obedience to the Messiah, we cannot overcome these evil spirits that have dominion over the thoughts of men's hearts. That is why we see our Christian friends are so deep in sin. Because they don't have the knowledge of Allah, because they throw away the source of knowledge, which is Torah and the prophets. Yeah? And they don't follow the true Messiah. They follow a false Messiah, Jesus Christ, the lawless Messiah. They don't follow the lawful Messiah. So therefore, the evil spirits continue to have dominion over their thoughts. I wonder if you're seeing what I'm seeing. All right. So an extension to that, how do we overcome? Put on the armor. We know this, of course. I guess this is the shortest teaching. Yeah, because we're almost at an end. Put on the whole armor. 24. Ephesians 6, yeah? 12 to what? To 18. All right. Put on the whole armor of Allah, that he may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. The wiles of the devil are the tricks of the devil, the deceptions of the devil. And who do the devil work? Who do the devil work through but the evil spirits? Yeah? That have been given dominion over the thoughts of men, because men are so evil. So men are being led astray to their destruction, led astray from Allah to their destruction. Okay? And this is why Babylon has been a golden cup in Allah's hand as well, in order to make the nations mad, in order to lead the nations away from Allah. I was reading something today in the book of Jubilees that I wanted to, where is it, Allah? No. I'll have to find that when I'm finished to make I should have included this in it, where it says that he appointed spirits over the sons of men to lead them astray from him. But against Israel, I need to get that. That needs to be in this, because it goes exactly with what we are saying. Jubilees 15. Yes. Jubilees 15, 31. Let me go there. So this will strengthen what we are actually saying here today. Jubilees 17:31, 15:31, I said. $31. All right. No. Verse 28. And do thou command the children of Israel, and let them observe the sign of this covenant for their generations as an eternal ordinance, and they will not be rooted out of the land. For the command is ordained for a covenant, that they should observe it forever among all the children of Israel. Now hear this, very important. And this is why the Ishmaelites are not Hebrews. And this is why Esau, Edom are not Hebrews. For Ishmael and his sons and his brothers and Esau, Yahuwah did not cause to approach him. And he chose them not because they are the children of Abraham, because he knew them, but he chose Israel to be his people. And he sanctified it and gathered it from amongst all the children of men. For there are many nations and many peoples, and all are his. And over all hath he placed spirits in authority to lead them astray from him. Very important. He placed evil spirits in authority to lead the nations astray from him. This is why the nations all worship idols, because the spirits hide behind these idols, so as to be led astray from Allah. Because as it said in Isaiah 40 verse 17, that all nations before him are as nothing and are counted to him as less than nothing and vanity. So because they are less than nothing and vanity, he has placed spirits in charge of them to lead them astray from him. These are the evil spirits that have dominion over men's hearts. But over Israel, he did not appoint any angel or spirit, for he alone is their ruler, and he will preserve them and require them at the hand of his angels and his spirits, and at the hand of all his powers, in order that he may preserve them and bless them, and that they may be his, and he may be theirs from henceforth and forever. But he went on to say, and now I announce unto thee that the children of Israel will not keep true to the ordinance, and they will not circumcise their sons according to all this law, for in the flesh of their circumcision they will omit their circumcision for their sons and all of them. So Israel will have the propensity to disobey the Most High. All right? And so we see he has set spirits over the sons of men to cause them to be led astray from him. So these spirits now will want to be battling for us. So how do we overcome them? Put on the whole armor to withstand the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. This is what we wrestle against. We are spirits. It's not a carnal battle. It's a spiritual battle taking place in the spiritual realm in our minds. Yes? And when we war, it's against principalities, great powers, rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual weakness in high places. That's why we have to deny ourselves, people, and be powerful in the spirits, because we can't fight against principalities and powers, rulers of the darkness of this world, and spiritual wickedness in high places, while going around self-seeking, following this world, walking as the people in the world walk, making ourselves susceptible to these evil spirits who have been given dominion over men's hearts. No. We have to walk in the spirit. That's why the Apostle Paul said, walk in the spirit and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. So when we're walking in the spirit, we are armed with the weapons to war these evil spirits in the spirit. But if we are walking in the flesh, then we are harmless. The spirits are going to have dominion over us because they are going to deceive us. Verse 13, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Allah, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. So you have the whole armor. You are walking in the spirit in the evil day. When these evil spirits try to come at you, to bring you to destruction, to deceive you, right? You will be able to do what? To stand against them. Yes? All right, I look at that question when I'm finished. So, I'll see, look at the question when I'm finished. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth. So in order to fight this battle now, you have to have truth. You have to have on the best breastplate of righteousness. We're going to go back over them and see all of the things that we have to be in. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of the good news of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Allah, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. All right. So, in order to stand against the tricks of the devil, in order to stand against the principalities and the powers and the rulers of darkness and spiritual wickedness in high places, you have to have truth. You have to be walking in righteousness. You have to be walking in the good news of peace. You have to have faith, which is a shield. So when they come at you and hit you, you are able to quench their darts. And you're going to have this helmet of salvation, and the sword, your only offensive weapon you have against his rock, is the word of Allah. Simple. The word of Allah is very important because that is what you use to fight them, to destroy them. And to top it off, you are always praying in the ruach, in the spirit, and watching and persevering and making supplication for all saints. That is how you get over. That is how we get over these evil spirits that have power and dominion over men's hearts. All right. So that was a short teaching today. Understanding the sin and the evil spirits that present themselves at all times. We know we all have had time when evil just keeps presenting itself and we have evil thoughts. And when we were in sin, we easily act on these evil thoughts, right? But now we more battle the evil thoughts, and some of us are still fall to these evil thoughts. If we are not aligned and if we have not denied ourselves, these evil thoughts will lead us into sin and to lead us to go against the way of Allah. Okay? So there was a question. Jubilees 1531. Jubilees 1531. Where was that again? I think it was, I don't know, let me go there. What does what mean all of them are his? For there are many nations and many peoples and all are his. That's the question. What does it mean by all are his? Because he created them all. That's why all are his. He is the creator. He's the father of all creation. He's the father of all ruachoth, father of all spirits. So all spirits are his. But here is it. All spirits are his, but there are many nations and many peoples and all are his. But over every nation except Israel, he placed spirits. So even though he created many nations, he only chose one people. Yes, over the rest of them, he placed spirits to lead them astray from him. But over Israel, he took charge of Israel and said, no. These are my people. And any spirit tries anything on his people. People are walking in righteousness. So it's important to walk in righteousness. You are protected from these spirits. And the book of Jubilees, I think it's Jubilees 2 or 1. It tells us that let me see if I can find it. It tells us that he's going to let all the spirits know. Let me see. Where is it? I wouldn't be able to find it, I don't think, so easily. Jubilees 2. He says he's going to let all the nations know that we belong to him. All the spirits shall know that we belong to him. So every spirit is going to know, evil spirit or good spirit, are going to know that, hey, these are my people. Don't touch them. Okay? That's how he deals with Yasharal. And with the other nations now, um, even though he created the other nations, um, this is what he says about them. This question that you asked takes us to Deuteronomy 32, 8 to 9. One of my favorites. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he sets the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So their boundaries were set according to how many Israelites would be born. For Yahuwah's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. Jacob alone is his people, is his portion. He created the entire earth, all are his, but he said, hey, you are my people among all. And this part of this tomorrow, this is part of what we are going to present again tomorrow. The same principle of the Most High choosing. He creates everything, and among everything, he makes a choice at all times. We're going to see that principle in action, hopefully tomorrow, Yahuwah willing. And so Jacob is a lot of his inheritance. And where was I going now? Jacob is a lot of his inheritance. And where was I going again? Let me try Deuteronomy 7:6. No, that wasn't where I'm going. Only hope it comes to me. But he creates a people for himself. And for the other nations now, Isaiah 40, verse 17, for the other nations, he says, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. It's his choice, his election of Yasharal. All right, so that is what Isaiah 15:31, Jubilees 15:31 means. All people are his because he created them, but he just selected one. Yes, I remember the verse I was going to know. Amos 3, verses 1 to 2. Amos 3, verses 1 to 2. Hear this word that Yahuwah hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. He has only known one family because he has chosen only one family. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. Okay? So, only hope we got the understanding. Only hope we got the understanding. All right. Any of you have any questions, you can ask me. You can ask now. All right. But it's important to note, evil spirits have the power and dominion over the thoughts of men. They have been given that authority in order to lead men astray because of man's evil. So they are all a part of the selection process, because remember, in the end, a remnant will be saved. So as a part of the process, their task is to lead men astray. Our task is to overcome them so that we be not led astray unto iniquity, unto our destruction. Okay? Any questions?
I have a question, Brother Kazak.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can evil spirits like indwell in people's bodies, like unbelievers?
Yeah, you have possessions, right?
Yes,
You have
because in the
people who are,
scriptures, you see that Yeshua has taken out demons out of people's bodies, and evil spirits have crippled, or they say that it diseases and all that because due to the evil spirits. I just wanted to
yes.
see that.
Yeah. They are possessions. So they possess people and cause people to do all sorts of things. And a lot of times we think people are sick, but it is the action of the spirit inside our minds which are actually causing all of this. All right?
Yeah, shalom, everybody. Brother Kazak.
Yes,
Um,
bro.
as you're talking about praying in the spirit, how do you do that? Pray in the spirit. How is that done?
All right. It says to worship Allah in the spirit. All right.
Yeah.
Praying in the spirit. It's actually, I don't know. I don't know exactly how to explain it. It is deep prayer. Deep prayer
Oh,
that is, for example, sometimes we are here praying. We are praying in a group and we might be praying, but it is actually not deep prayer in the spirit. Deep prayer in the spirit is when one, sometimes we see records, especially apocrypha, of people praying. And when they pray, the angels actually come right away. We see it with Esdras, we see it with Baruch, we see it with other prophets.
it's like
They,
meditating. It's like
some
deep
of them will
meditation.
actually, yeah, go ahead.
It's like what deep meditation on the Most High or in Him word
Deep,
also. It's
yeah, deep, not meditation, deep praying. So if we read the book of Second Esdras, for example, Ezra will be there and he will be troubled in his spirit and he will fast a few days. And then after fasting, then he's gone into prayer, deep prayer. And when he prays, the angels come down and answer him. Deep prayers. Not just the surface prayer, like sometimes we might be here and we might whisper a little prayer. Yeah? Make sense? Hello?
yeah, I understand. Alright. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone else out there? Okay, then let us get this off YouTube so we can actually continue here on this, the Shabbat. This teaching here today, it's the last day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread for those who are keeping the second Passover. So we had this short teaching. Yes, overcoming the power of evil spirits over our thoughts. All right, kind of going deeper into sin and deeper into the spiritual aspect of sin. Yeah, that's about it. So thanks once again for watching here on Just a Word. This is Chazak Eliyahu Yashara saying, wow. Yeah. Anything else we can discuss later? Yeah. So thanks for watching. And thanks for those who are listening. We will continue here on Just a Word Radio, but thanks for listening here on YouTube. Whoa. Oh, no. Okay. All right. See, my thing has crashed. Let me change it to the USB camera. All right. Okay. So thanks for listening and thanks for watching on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe if you enjoy our teaching. All right. And continue to make it just a word. And as we go through and add to our teachings. All right. So until next time, shalom.
Wow.
Hope you got something